Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my first Project Pan update. So let's get started. I did this whole thing very scientifically. I wrote down every time I used something so I could tell you the exact number of times everything's been used. But I also wanted to mention like a majority of January I've had like the winter cold, whatever you want to call it, and my skin had been so irritated that I really wasn't wearing makeup a lot, so I haven't used everything too much, but there are a few things that I've really gone through. Also, take a look at my nails. Look how cute these are. Did them myself. And then the state of the world has caused me to pick and pick, and now I have one hand that's done and one hand that has nothing on it. So I'm deciding whether I want to replicate or do something new. Okay, we're gonna start with face makeup. Okay, to begin, I did not use this. My skin was just so sensitive that I wanted to use things I really knew were fine on my skin. So this is exactly where it was last update, but in case you're new, it's maybe a quarter full, maybe a fifth. Like, that should not be too hard. Then we have the Say Glowy Gel in the bronze. You can kind of see how it's getting like squished in on itself. I used this not too many times. I only used this 3 times because in the winter I feel like my skin is just so pale that I have to be so careful about how much of this I use. This I feel like is going to get a lot of progress in the spring and summer. Next, I have the Merit Skin, the uniform. I also wanted to show you close up on my skin. I've been getting like these red dots down my skin. I usually have really bad dermatitis. Like, my skin is really good right now for what my skin usually looks like. But this is new to me, and the only thing I've really changed is like using this more consistently. Do you think it's causing it? Because I actually really like the finish. And although it looks like the color would not be good on me, it blends out really nicely. I used this 6 times. So not much progress, but you know, 6 times, we'll take it. It's also hard striking the balance between using my Project Pan items and rotating my other makeup collection into my routine. Powder, my skin has been far too dry. I used it once. I'm going to show you just again in case you're new here, but this is pretty much what it was at last time. My skin has just been like, if you're in Boston or the East Coast, you know this is not the time to be powdering. The snow, the wind powders your face for you. Cheek products, we did more damage. Start with my Merit blush, which I used 10 times. Okay, so I brought a new one out so I can show you kind of the dome situation. So this is one that is like fairly new. Okay, now I'm going to show you my one. This is the one I've been using in Cheeky. You guys are going to be like, they look the same. But no, I actually don't think they do. Let me... Okay. Am I crazy? No. There's a little difference there. Like, we're starting to see this go a little less domed. I really like these blushes, but I will say they're not long wearing. Like, I sometimes bring it in my pocket because I have the mini ones and just kind of touch up throughout the day. And I recommend doing that if you want long-lasting blush. All right, I don't know what possessed me to include 2 cream bronzers in this, but I did. I used the Makeup by Mario 4 times, and this is what it's looking like. I feel like there's a deceiving amount of product in here. I kind of have a lot of contoury bronzy things going on, but I did use one of them most days. It's just, there's a lot. And then I have the Fenty Butter Biscuit. I did not really use this one. I used this one time. Again, some of these things are more for me like one season or another, and this is like a better product for me when I'm as pale as I currently am, even though I don't know how different they're gonna look, but they look the same. And this is better for me in the summer. Let me swatch them. Okay. It's also the formula. Like the Makeup by Mario is very creamy, blendable. It kind of has a sheer quality to it. The Fenty is just more like a yellowy bronze, and then it maintains its pigment more. So that's kind of why I use them differently. We have these two palettes as well. I have the Smashbox Contour. I used this only 3 times, but I did use it. I'm sorry guys, I feel like this isn't that exciting. I just really like, you know when you're sick and your skin is just raw, I just couldn't fathom putting makeup on top of that. But trust, there's some stuff. Danessa Myricks palette. I used this 5 times and I feel like I can tell a difference, especially this color. I feel like there's a little bit of a dip going in there. So I was using that for contour more than I was using a bronzer. And then I did also use this as a base several times. I did also dip into the other eyeshadows, but none of them really spoke to me that hard. For eyeshadows, I used my Natasha Denona 5 times. And I did some really fun looks. In this palette, the most used ones for me were this as a base. I used Sheen all over. Oh, just dug my nail in. And then Mesh and Stone I also used. I did dip into here as well a few times, but those are the ones I used frequently. But for me, it's just the Glam palette. Like, that is my palette. And in here, I feel like I can notice a difference. I used a lot of the cool tones to make like a smoky eye one day. I used this. I did a simpler look with this and this. And then this was the color I went into most often. And I feel like you can kind of tell. It says I used this 5 times. I think I forgot to add some of the times I used it because that just doesn't feel right to me. I also used the ColourPop Super Shock 5 times. And this surprised me. With Super Shocks, normally I feel like I kind of dig into them to get pigment. Like I swoosh into them. This, you barely have to tap it and you get the effect. So that's great for longevity, but not great for trying to use it up or trying to pan it. But it's a stunning color. Like, I've really had fun using it. And what I did was I have that was like really aggressive. I have the Urban Decay eyeliner, which I used 6 times and I didn't have to sharpen. That's crazy. And not only did I use it 6 times, most of those, can you see the color? No, you can't, but that's okay. Most of the times I was using it all over the eye as an eye base. And then, let me try and show you. Okay. I would use it as a base, as like this bronzy. And then I would use this on top to kind of bring some coolness to it. Can you see that? Like, is that not really pretty? I loved it, and I feel like just looking at that makes me want to do it again. So 5 and 6. Okay, lips. Oh, you know what? I lied. Okay, we have a scenario. the Blink mascara I used up, which is crazy. There's like a little that you can get off of it, but it just is not anywhere near what it was initially. So I feel like that's done, and that's such a cop-out this early on, so I'm gonna replace it. I'm gonna replace it with the e.l.f. lash extender in brown, black, and is it brown? Yeah, brown, which is almost new. This is what that wand looks like. You can't tell. That's okay. So that's getting replaced. And then the Refi brow gel, same thing. Like, I think this is past its prime, because when I use this now, it's not like there's nothing in it, there is, but when I use it now, it literally looks like I have dandruff localized on my eyebrows. And I'm dedicated to this project, I really am, but not to that point. Like, I used this, I think 6 or 7 times. Let me look. 6 times. And each time I was like, ew. So that's getting thrown out, as well as this. I'm not going to throw them out right this second, because I'm thinking of doing the 30-day minimalism challenge, where it's like 460 items, something like that, where day 1 you get rid of 1 thing, day 2 2 things, and I cannot be wasting 2 items, so I'm going to put them in my drawer, but I will be getting rid of them in that challenge. And if I decide not to do that in the next like 3 days, then I'll just throw them out. To replace the eyebrow gel, I'm going to replace it with the Anastasia Brow Freeze, which I do like. I like it. It's not my favorite brow gel I've used, but it works, and a brow gel is a brow gel at some point. Like, it's not that serious. All right, let's get into the part where I did some damage lips. So I used the Half Magic lip liner 10 times, and the color I was really going for was the darker shade, and I switched to the tops. And I'll Pray For You. It's kind of this brownie, chocolatey shade, and I did a little mark so we know how much I have left, but this is what it's looking like. Can I focus on the right thing one time? That would be so glorious. Okay. And then I also have the other side, which I used a few times. It's a very, very yellowy, peachy shade, which is not like the most flattering on me. I kind of have to blend the two together to make it work. Loving the brown side though. The NARS lipstick I used 7 times, but I guess I didn't really check how many times I reapplied throughout the day, because I feel like I made some progress here too. This color is so good. Every time I used it, I was like, damn, that's a good one. I guess I'll swatch it too. I'm not going to swatch them in every rendition of this video, but since it's the first update, maybe some new people will be watching. Okay, I did my big one with this, you guys. I used this Rhode Lip Peptide Balm more than 40 times, and when we began, it was pretty much brand new. Okay, let's see. Ooh, sometimes it like, okay. I'm so curious because I know I've been using this. Okay, we are officially here. Are you kidding me? I feel like that's really good. I will take that. Can you guys see? How much do you think is left? Like a third? I had some on earlier, but I'll show you the color. I just really like the color. I kind of feel like there's even, maybe not. That's all I'm wearing. It just looks good. I don't know if it's like the most unique thing I've used, but I like the formula because it's not too thick. Where it's so cold out right now, normally I love a thick balm, but if I go out in those balms right now, it's like actually almost hard to open my mouth, and I hate a thin lip balm, hate it. So this is my compromise. Okay, what else? My EOS, the caramel cashmere. This, as you can tell, is like pretty used. Everything has been so dry. I've been keeping this in my bag as a hand cream. This is not like, obviously it's not gonna be hard for me to use up, but this is more of like a reminder to use the things I have, even if they're limited edition or smell good, or I don't know, I like stockpile and forget to use because I'm a little nuts. So this has been a good reminder, and I've just, every time I put it on, my coworkers are like, oh, it smells like cookies. So that's where we are. We have 4 more things. So same thing with pretty much these hair things, where I would just stockpile for a special occasion, and I only used the hair mask once because, to be honest, I completely forgot about it, but I did do it once. I didn't track the hair stuff. I used the hair oil. This is gonna last me so long. I used it like several times. I just really only put a little bit. And then I love how this smells. The Super Milk. I had it on its side, so that's my bad, but I'm gonna say it's like, I don't know, here. It's so yummy. And then, same thing. This is a big deal because normally I find it so hard to use nice things, but I used my Summer Fridays jet lag mask several times, maybe, I don't know, 5, and not much has gone. There we are. But it's more of like the principle of pushing through, saving things and remembering to use them. So I'm happy with that. Oh, you know what I did not use one single time? The Native body wash. I talked about this in my vlog, but it's just not a winter scent, and I will use it up. It probably has this much left. I will use it, it's not a concern, but I'm not gonna use it right now. But if I didn't put it in my project pan, I feel like I'd forget about it and then buy a new one. So we're keeping it in the project pan. I will use it this month, but January, no. This candle, you guys, this is a big deal for me. I never burn candles that smell good or like that I love because I don't want to use them up. And I almost used this one all the way up. It's so good. I know I talked about this, but it's the cutest brand, Sniffs of Adventure. And I love it, but I'm almost done with that. I've decided that this video is already becoming pretty long, and so I'm gonna do the empties during my January catch up and no buy update, which I'm so excited to do. I have so many thoughts already, and that will be coming shortly, probably on the 30th, which is my birthday. Not a birthday person at all. Planning on posting it then so I can kind of just like interact in the comments and be distracted and not think about my birthday. So that's my plan, and that one will probably be like a long chatty update. If that's not your thing, no worries. Part 2 of my declutter is coming after that. So love you all. Thank you for watching. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you guys soon.